Wake up, wake up, wake up. Welcome to the Mecca Media Morning Show. I am Councilwoman Tara Mosley Samples. Welcome.
Hey, man. Got to come here once a week. Good morning. What you got in your cup, man?
Oh, water. Just water.
I see you repping AkronHipHop.com.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Akron's Black Media.
That's what I'm saying. We take care of our own.
Hey, man. First off, let everybody know who you are and what you're about first before we go any further.
I am Councilwoman Tara Mosley Samples. I am your mighty Ward 5 Councilwoman for the city of Akron.
I know you rocking and everything. You must like the music that you don't hear.
Right, in my head. It's in my head.
So listen, man. Let's talk about it. The importance of the black vote. Let's just go right to it. Why is that important that we vote this time around, and who we should be voting for?
Right. I'm not gonna tell people who to vote for. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. I mean, we see what's going on out here in the world. Have we not seen the instability going on in our country? And who's sitting there right now orchestrating this instability? The vote this election will lie and rest in the black community, as it always has, always. We are blamed when we don't show up, but we're not thanked when we do. We want more than a thank you this time, though. We want some jobs.
So I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna act like I'm 5 years old, or I'm gonna act like I am not connected and interested in what's going on.
Okay.
Give me the top 3 things I should be looking for a candidate to be speaking about when it comes to my community and that I should be voting for. You get what I'm going for?
I get where you're going.
I know I didn't say it right. I went the long way. But the top 3 things my black self should be wanting to hear from a candidate that's going to affect me and my community.
Right.
That's what
I might go to 5 because 5 is my favorite number. I might go 5.
Go 5.
First, you want to look for a candidate who speaks for you, speaks for your community. You want a candidate that's connected to that community, not just during the election time. What have you done for the community? And when I say community, I'm not talking about the entire community because start talking about areas where we don't live. I'm talking about what have you done within the inner city? What have you done in the black community? Number 3.
Number 2.
I'm on number 3 now. See?
Hey,
yeah.
Right
number 3. What do you plan on doing if elected to that seat? What do you plan on doing that is going to be beneficial and substantial to the community? Not just the black community, but as a whole. Number 4, will we see you again after Election Day? Will we see you? Will you be out here amongst the people, or will we see you again when it's time to be reelected and run for reelection? And number 5, to me, the most important, your actions. Actions speak louder than anything.
What about reparations? Is that a thing? Is that a real thing for the foreseeable future, or is this something that we should be thinking about this particular time around? Or you don't think nobody will be speaking about that in a realistic way?
I mean, everyone talks about it now because it's a talking point. It sounds good because you're trying to get some votes. Everybody's talking about reparations. Do you know how much money the government would have to pay us back for that? They don't want to pay for Medicare for all right now. They don't want to cancel student debt. So now we talk about reparations, which tenfold would be way more than the both of those.
Wouldn't that be a good gesture, though? They say
absolutely.
All Nubians, no health care, no pay.
But here's the thing: my concern is, how do you prove who gets reparations? Do you have to prove that your ancestors were slaves? I mean, it's clear. Our skin tells us that.
You have to be born and raised on this continent,
right,
as a direct descendant of an ex-slave. That's who you can't be from Jamaica and just over here.
Or Haiti, right.
So you have to be born on this
continent.
Over there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Reparations from their government.
Right.
They have slavery going on there too.
Right.
A lot of us don't know that. But
I do.
Of course, I see what you read. I
do.
You got to be the dopest. I was about to say chick, but I can't say chick. You're a councilwoman. You super dope, man. This is crazy. Yes. That's what I think she's getting it.
Well, I'm all for it, but do it the right way. This is the thing. So by the time they send out these checks, is it going to look like a stimulus check? Are you going to send all of us $500 to $5,000 and then give us a pat on the back and say, gee, thank you? Or are you going to do like you did with, there was reparations for the Jewish community. Y'all gave Native Americans land. They built casinos on it. What does that look like for us? Because some people will be satisfied with getting a one-time check. That's not enough. For me, what that looks like.
I don't care if they're giving you, I don't care if they give, somebody added it up and they said everyone end up getting like about 200,000 to 300,000. Something like that. You know you're giving me the reparations for the ancestors all the way up to now.
Right.
From the slave, not the ex-slave.
Right.
The first
slave. Right.
Now, there's no $300,000. There's no $1 million payout. You can pay me and make me think you took care of. Because let me just say this: when you look inside this epidermis, right up under the epidermis, the dermis, and everything,
right,
you got blood there. This blood was here on this continent as a slave.
Right.
We're still carrying their blood, right?
Right.
And it's been over here since the beginning of the day. We don't have new blood. We're the original man.
Right.
We don't have new blood.
People don't want to hear that. No. They don't want that truth.
But I'm keeping it.
Please do. That, right? You have to. So when we think about what that all encompasses, do we really have a government who really wants to do that? Because they feel like our pain is not the same as other people who are survivors of the Holocaust or other wrongs in this country. Our pain is just as deep, if not deeper.
If you know your history, and I'm sure you do, okay, once upon a time, the slave master literally believed we didn't feel pain the way they felt it. That's a fact.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's why they was experimenting on you. That's why they made you work extra long and everything. They literally believed you didn't feel or receive pain the way.
Well, you know what, and that just goes to show in the book I'm reading right now that they really believe that. They beat it out of us. They wanted us to experience what that felt like when they took all of that away from us. They wanted us to. I'm going to try not to get emotional about it because as I read this book and I'm reading it to my grandkids, it's called Black History for Beginners. And then it has there's a radical Black History workbook that comes along with it as you have a conversation about.
You got pictures of the book?
I do. I might even have the book with me. I've been carrying it and reading it.
Speaking, it'll show up right up there right now.
I will absolutely make sure I do that because it is so important that we actually know our history and what that pain looks like. They always want to talk about just. They want to give us the little microisms, Martin Luther King. They might give us a little of a Malcolm because they're scared of what Malcolm really talked about. So he's.
Who the top three is?
Yeah.
Who the top three that they give you?
Malcolm, Martin.
No, they don't give you Malcolm like that. The top three is Martin, Harriet.
Oh yeah, always. Well, according to Kanye, Harriet Tubman didn't free slaves. Oh. She just sold them to other white folks. Anyways.
Did you see that movie?
I did.
Did you like it?
No.
I know why you didn't like it.
Yeah.
I know why you didn't like it.
Read a book and you'll know why.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. No.
They had her all watered down.
In the worst kind of way.
Yeah.
And so I think it's important for us to know that part of our history. And then you'll start to understand why certain people feel the way they do about the way we have been treated for so long and why they feel that. And we all feel that there should be some reparations to that. And we're not talking about a one-time stimulus check. That doesn't work.
Listen, the black vote this time around, some say is more important than it's ever been. Some say because of the climate that the president. Did I just curse you out?
Mm-hmm.
Did I just curse you out?
Yes.
The president is putting out the vibe, the dog whispers and stuff.
Yeah.
And they said it's really.
He's not even whispering.
No, he's yelling.
He's not whispering. He has called his alt-right KKK men and women, especially his Karens, home, and they trying to stay there. You know, they all went and tucked themselves away when Barack Obama was there because they were so incensed that this black man was the president. They couldn't understand it. So when they got Trump, they all came back and rose to the top, and now this is their America.
Do you know what? Before Donald Trump was the president, we know what he was about. He's a grand marketer.
Oh, absolutely. And schemer.
Did you think he was going to lose? He's the grand marketer. He's not going to lose. He knows his specific demographic.
Absolutely.
He knows how to reach them, and still doing it to this day. The only way you can counteract a grand marketer, think about McDonald's. Why do you think McDonald's is still running commercials? You know what a Big Mac tastes like there.
Yeah.
Okay, why do you think they're still running it? They don't want you to forget.
They don't want you to forget.
Because Burger King is out there.
That's
it's
right.
The same aggressive campaign.
That's right.
I'm saying we're Burger King, brother. Okay? We need to get out there and push our campaign.
Right.
And get out there and hit them votes.
Right.
So we can get some of the market share.
So I think what has to happen is you have to give them a reason to show up. Because even in the climate that we are living in, there are so many African American and minority people who feel defeated, and they feel like there ain't nothing in it for us, so why would we even waste our time? We know how to deal with the Trumpism of the world because we've been dealing with it our whole life. We've been dealing with it. So there you got some people who don't know how to handle it. We know how to handle it. As bad as it is, we would know how to deal with another 4 years of this fool. But do we want to? Heck no, we don't want to. Because I'm more concerned about the race war that comes with another term of a Trump in office. And that scares me.
You think that's a real thing?
Absolutely.
You think it's happening right now?
You know what? It's been happening. Now it's just intensified.
They're hanging people. Okay,
listen,
people ain't committing suicide.
No, they're not committing suicide. And the fact that any medical examiner would even put that out there that these people are committing suicide. So you see me, I'm walking down the street, I got a big old rope, I'm going out to the woods. You not gonna ask me where I'm going with that rope? Because that's not what's happening. I mean, come on now. This climate that we're in is all tied to the person at 1600. And as he goes and does these speeches and he's throwing up his little signs for everybody, he's not whispering. He's just straight telling them, we making America great. We gonna keep America great. And how do we do that? Yesterday, this man said on HBO, he has done more for black people than any president ever. All I can do is turn the channel. All I can do is turn the channel. Because there's some black people out there that really believe that. And that's the thing that's so sad to me. They really believe this man care about them. Those are ones we call in my book that I'm reading right now, those house ones that have no idea what's really going on out in the field. House Negroes, they the ones, they the ones who believe that mess. We that's out here, that's milling the land and out here putting in the blood and sweat and tears, we know that's not what's going on here. Don't get fooled by that First Step Act. He now saying he wish he would have never signed it. See, he's telling y'all how he really feel. He only signed it because it took Kim Kardashian and his son-in-law Meek Mill to push it on him. He didn't want to sign that.
To who?
Kim Kardashian, Meek Mill, and his son-in-law, Jared Kushner. Yeah. It took them. So it took a reality star, who's, by the way, smarter than him, to go in there.
That's not good.
Listen, you talk about the art of the deal. She knew what she was doing when she went in there, and I give her big ups for it. She went in there, and she knew what to do. And you know what? He opened up the gates for soldiers to come home. Unbeknownst to him, he had no idea what he was doing. But now he's doing it with his own people. He letting his soldiers out with a penmanship.
So that's why it's important for us to vote.
We have to show up to vote because.
Now, when is the vote?
November 3rd.
Okay, are we going to physically go to the polls, or are they mailing stuff somewhere?
So right now there's an aggressive campaign, not just in this state, but across the country for mail-in ballots. Of course, Mr. 1600 is trying to stop that because he knows he loses if that happens. And I think for our Secretary of State LaRose, I think this is something, we've been having absentee voting here in the state of Ohio forever. But to actually put the postage on there and send it to every registered voter in the state, it has to happen. Why would you put people's lives at risk? And we already have an issue with a surge in cases of COVID. This is only going to intensify. Could you imagine the lines of African American? I just want to say black because I'm black. Can you imagine the lines of people who are sick and tired of being sick and tired these last 3 years, how long those lines would be? And we're talking about a spread of COVID that would be out of control. And maybe that's what he wants. Maybe that's what he wants.
That's important to vote.
Yeah. I mean, there's all other kind of reasons, because the thing about it is you vote your conscience. This is what I tell people all the time, and my Democratic Party may not want to hear it. You vote your conscience regardless of who that party person is. You got to think about the person who actually is going to do the right thing by people. Not about the purse, not about power. They're going to take care of people. And sometimes it may not be somebody aligned with your party. You got to look for those people who actually out here doing the work for the people.
And listen, if you guys don't get that, you guys going to have to wait till next month when she stopped by. Hey, tell somebody how to get in touch with you.
Yes, you can reach me at Ward 5, the number 5 at akronohio.gov or at 330-212-9118, or find me on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
You balling and you can get balling. All right, have some fun to get something done.